Hi there, I'm Sphinx Akashaa, the champion of Bards, and the creator and proprietor of the Everbright Archive. We like to tell stories here, and the best stories are told with a cup of hot, soothing tea. I'm really proud that our show is affiliated with one of the best tea shops in the multiverse, Friday Afternoon Tea. They're a fantastic family-owned company based right here out of the Pacific Northwest, and they offer amazing teas and tea blends that are made for geeks and by geeks. They specialize in incredible blends based on some of your favorite fandoms. My favorite tea right now is called Number 9 for the Tomb. It's an aged white tea inspired by Tamsin Muir's Locked Tomb trilogy, and that's just one of the fandoms this tea shop is inspired by. To learn more and get some amazing teas of your own, visit FridayTea.com and use the code MULTIVERSE. That's MULTEAVERSE at checkout to get 10% off your total purchase, because we're friends now. See you out there on the Storied Path.
Within each of us is a storyteller, and a story waiting to be told. Universes of our own making that we breathe into life with our very being.
And we tell these stories to live, to relate, to entertain, to understand, and to connect. For we are the stories that help others to understand themselves.
We tell stories that are funny, sad, heroic, common, and fantastical. For we are all these things and more.
And when we come together, share our universes with one another, we create something special. We create a multiverse.
Here, at the center of the multiverse,
we welcome you to sit,
get cozy,
and listen
as we traverse the storied path. Here, we welcome you to the Everbright Archive.
And hello and welcome back to yet another fantastic episode of the Everbright Archive. I am your host and current storyteller and current champion of Bards. See, I remembered the current this time.
There we go.
I am Sphinx Akashaa, and we are here for yet another episode of the story that I am facilitating called The Last Story. This is episode 4, titled Pencils Down, Fists Up. And I'll go ahead before we begin and get really into it. I'll introduce my lovely table of amazing bards and storytellers. I will start with the fantastic Bardic Sweet Tea.
Oh no, why me? Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Sweet Tea. I can be found on all the socials at Bardic Sweet Tea. Today I will be playing Malachi Davis, who has yet to show his weird, but hopefully we'll get to that at some point. I do have something in mind. I'm just waiting for the moment to reveal it.
Ooh, can't wait for that. Next up, I will switch it up to Selkie Cove.
Somehow I had a feeling. I had the gut instinct. But I am Selkie Cove, and I am playing Blaidd, who I feel like already has plenty of weird, and is more than willing to share, should anyone need a little extra.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, that's very fair. and from there, we'll go over to Brynniursa.
Well, hey there, hi there, hole there. My favorite thing to do is get our illustrious GM with that. I am Brynniursa. You can find me at Brynniursa on most things social. I bask in obscurity, so have fun finding me. And I play Jodie Bank, who goes between accent and no accent. Why? You're gonna have to listen to find out why.
Ooh. Like that. Dun, dun, dun. And last but certainly not least, the incomparable Madness Diamond.
Yeah, I'm Madness Diamond, but since we're friends now, you can call me Diamond. Nice to meet you. But tonight I will be playing the definitely not an arsonist, Lysandra Agni, who is Misfortune's Flame and is totally ready to duke it out and see what we can do with this muscle mommy. And you can find me everywhere at Madness Diamond.
Duking it out with Muscle Mommy. That is a great segue into our recap. So, when we last left our teachers turned isekai heroes, they had been unwillingly transported from their version of Earth to the world of Phaedos as heroes who the world seems to hope are able to defeat the creator of this world, the Guided Dreamer. They were met by the head priestess of the Temple of Solim, Kali Zephyrin, a Cambrian, who it was revealed was also a former hero at some point, had been summoned to Phaedos some time ago as well. And her guard captain, Jodie Hearth. They escorted the party after some conversation to the inn and tavern behind the temple, owned by Ogrim the Kind, called Uncle Oggs, where they partook of food and drink and introduced Ogrim to a number of beverages, particularly the ice cream float, and partook in some conversation about like what the world kind of expects of them, and also what has happened to some of the other heroes that were summoned. Upon learning that the majority of the other heroes that have been summoned before them were children, and that not all of them survived for one reason or another, they pretty much decided that the Guided Dreamer had to go. He's gonna die. In our previous episode, we got to see agents from an order called the Circle that took a magic train to the city of Dawn Gate, which is the city that they're in, from the capital city of Dawn Seed, to kind of ascertain our party's abilities and their strengths, and help them undergo some much needed training for them to get used to their new skills and abilities. We had a montage episode where we got to see some really cool things, like Lysandra use her abilities to basically help two musicians fall in love, but also kind of figure out like how her fire dancing worked. We saw Blaidd go through an epic transformation from organic life form to cyborg with a beautiful hoverboard and a mechanical scorpion's tail. we got to see Jodie Bank go through kind of a transformation of her own as she becomes more and more Larvum, which is one of the moth people of the world. And she grew wings, y'all, and took her first flight. We got to see Malachi train with Desdemona Arnak, aka Desi, who is a combat specialist and spiritist of the circle. And there was a bit of chemistry between the two of them, which it was very, very nice. We then saw Lysandra kind of help get Mistress Calizephren and Duke, one of the agents of the circle, who also happens to be a werewolf, together. And that was a fun and good time. We'll be clipping that for for later, because boy oh boy, that needs to be seen. And at the end of the 6 months, we saw our teachers turned heroes standing together in the theater, and Curator and Desi had a bit of a surprise for them. Desi took off the top layer of her robes, revealing that she is, in fact, a muscle mommy, and is going to, at some point, possibly, enter combat with these guys. But Curator, our technical genius, also revealed 5 automatons that rose from the ground and got into kind of battle formation with them. And that's kind of where that episode... Well, no, that's not where the episode left off. The episode left off with another bit from the Guided Dreamer, who had gathered his own set of 4, and plotting to test our heroes. With one of the 4, a being in armor and a demon mask, who's very, very excited about this prospect. But we can leave that for later. Let's get to our heroes. You stand there on the stage of this theater, and Desi stands very confidently behind this line of 4 brass hulking automatons. They are quite intimidating looking. They are Blaidd. You're able to kind of ascertain that they are kind of clockworkish in nature, but there's definitely like magic running through them. And as they kind of stand, one of them, the larger one in the center, its head turns all the way back to look at Desi, bright green eyes glowing, and says,
"What are your orders, mistress?"
And Desi looks at them. "Remember, this is a test. Non-lethal damage, please. But otherwise, you will show no mercy, and expect none in return." The automaton's head turns back to face you, and starting with that particular automaton and then fanning out between to the other 4, moving outwards, the eyes go from green to bright red.
Combat mode initiated.
And I am going to, for the first time in this campaign, you guys, I'm going to have you guys roll initiative. Now, the way initiative works in Fabula Ultima is that you all, the 4 of you, are going to pick a leader, and they will be the main kind of focus of the initiative, and the rest of you will support them. you will roll initiative, and the leader will roll initiative, and everyone else will roll their initiative die, and add to them with kind of if your rolls are above 10, you add a +1 to the leader's initiative roll. If you roll a critical success, which is double die of 6 and above, you add a +2. But if you do a critical failure, which is double ones, we will subtract 1 from the initiative order. Once we have an idea of which side has the highest initiative, that determines which side will go first, and then we go back and forth between the two sides in whatever order you all deem necessary. So, my first question to you all is: who do you pick as your lead?
This is an interesting question you pose.
Jodie.
Because, who's
Jodie is my vote.
Jodie. Oh.
Jodie's my vote.
I'm okay with Jodie.
I'm tripling down on Jodie.
Oh, gosh. Well, she does step up when she needs to.
Hell yeah.
Jodie looks at all of these machines, and she just steps forward. All right. We gotta survive. And wouldn't you know, that's my thing.
Hell yeah. All right. So it looks like, Jodie, you rolled first, and you got a 14. I will roll for Desi, who's officially kind of leading this. Actually, okay, no, it looks like you rolled might plus might, so your initiative should be dex plus your insight.
So I don't just click initiative and roll?
No, because I don't
see.
think it has. I don't think it has the
Dex
dice right there.
Plus insight. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand. I know what happened. Okay, roll. Not nearly as good. Okay.
All right.
11.
Okay, 8 for me. All right, and then everyone else rolls, and like I said, above 10s, we'll see. Malachi rolled a 7, so we won't be adding any pluses to that.
Does my initiative modifier affect? Shouldn't it affect that as well?
It should. What's your initiative mod?
Because it said +2. My modifier is a -2.
Oh, then that's a 5. So yeah, you definitely don't
Oh dear.
add anything there.
Listen, I'm on the stage a lot, but I don't do much dancing. I'm sorry.
That's quite.
I just realized that we have just entered a conflict scene, I believe.
Yep, that is correct.
Cool. So because Blaidd has Neo-Human, I actually need to switch that up. Blaidd ups their dexterity.
Ooh.
So their dexterity die actually ends up being 11.
Cool.
Or, sorry, 12. I bet.
Okay. So I have a feeling this is going to be a foregone conclusion, given the way the automatons have rolled in this already. But let's see what happens. All right, that's a +4. All right. Yep. Still good.
I got a 13.
Cool. All right. The heroes will go first. So, the automatons kind of spread out and start to surround you. And they kind of get low and into a bit of a fighting stance. Who would like to go first?
I may, but I've lost my Millie note.
Oh, no.
It was open. Have I ever seen these things before?
These automatons?
Yeah, like, would I have just, been passing by and perhaps have seen, like, them training with somebody else before?
I would say under normal circumstances, probably not. However, that does not mean that you cannot invoke a fabula point using one of your traits.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because I can't use it if I've never seen them.
Right. So, you can't use the fabula point?
Well, I can't use the thing that I want to use, because I was going to try to use trained memory to perfectly recall details of any scene that I've visited within the past.
I see.
But I can do something else instead. That's just the one I wanted to use because I want to. It's okay.
Gotcha. I will say in that case, probably not. No.
So I would like to just set up and try to use a flash of insight.
Okay.
All right.
And what does a flash of insight do?
When I roll a 13 or higher on a check performed to investigate a creature, item or location, including the study action during a conflict, I can ask the GM questions concerning the subject. Hold on, wait, that might not be what I want. I'm trying to just look and see if it has a weak point. I know I can. Snap, I did not read this well enough. I apologize.
You're doing just fine. What's that skill called again?
Flash of Insight.
Okay, I want to check to perform investigating creature. Okay, so if you want to use your study action instead of your attack action, that's something you can totally do.
Yes. I would like to use that action.
Okay, so go ahead and roll to study then. Which I believe is insight plus insight.
Insight plus insight. Roll check.
That is a 16.
All right.
So that is absolutely a success. And what is your skill level in that skill?
My skill level in that skill.
Insight. So flash of insight. So you only have one level of that. So you can ask me one question.
What are some weak points of these things?
Want a vulnerability. You kind of get this idea that, like, as you watch these automatons and the way they move, and the way their joints move, it could probably be fairly gummed up with some ice.
All right. Well, my bunch of baddies, it looks like these things can get a little chilly. Don't do so well against cold. I think if we hit them right in these areas, and she points, we can really do some damage. So keep that in mind, and then she's just going to, just with the flare, like kind of move her arm, and then that book shield comes as her arms arcs over her face, pages fluttering as the shield appears.
Yes, I love that. Very cool. So that will end your turn, and then the commanding clockwork sentinel in the center. Actually, no, it's not in the center anymore. Well, yeah, no, it's in the center. We'll say it's in the center. We'll point towards you. Actually, you know what? Let me roll for it. I feel it's a bit more fair if we let the dice decide. 3. Okay, so it actually goes after Lysandra. Sorry.
Oh no.
And it will point its hand, and a kind of a miasma of energy begins to coalesce around the hand as the fingers clench into a fist and then pulse back into the arm itself. The metal from the forearm then separates and configures itself into the shape of a gun barrel before it then fires a blast at you. It just starts blasting.
Proof. But okay.
14 versus your defense.
My defense currently is 12.
So it will hit you for 13 points of electric damage.
Jeez.
I'm going to use one of my abilities on my turn to then use, I think it's Ecdysis.
Okay.
It's one of my mutant abilities. After you lose hit points due to damage, if that damage is a type other than physical, you may spend 10 hit points to gain resistance to that damage until you use this skill again.
You use 10 hit points for that? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. So yeah, you now have resistance. Is that your...
Hey there, this is Magnus, Goblin Artificer Extraordinaire, and you're listening to the Everbright Archive, a TTRPG actual play anthology podcast series. I hope you're enjoying the show. Now, let's get back to it and see what these crazy kids are up to.
I'm now resistant to fire damage and electric damage.
Cool. So I guess my question to that is, if it's... Yeah, I think that would be an action for you to use that. So that is your action.
Yes.
Cool. I dig that. That's nicely done. So that is your turn. A kind of bulkier looking sentinel kind of wanders up, kind of sees the commanding sentinel hit Lysandra, sees Jodie put up the shield, and will choose to go after Jodie with its own arm transforming itself into a gun and firing out. 9 versus your defense.
Then that will hit.
Okay. That will do 10 points of electric damage.
All right. Sizzle, sizzle.
Oh.
That's right. Hit me. Let's go.
Okay. And then who wishes to go next?
All right. I will. Now, obviously, I'm seeing Lysandra take a pretty large chunk of damage.
Yep.
And then also, what would it look like when Lysandra does her ability to sacrifice health to gain resistance?
Ooh, yeah, that's a great question.
What this basically looks like is, like, as soon as it hits, they kind of just, like, it's the buzzing effect that you get after you, like, accidentally shock yourself on something. But you kind of see that electricity pulse and then center itself again, like, wherever it had impacted. And then it's just kind of Lysandra shaking it off. And they just say, it's like, well, that was kind of rude, but I don't think you can hit that hard next time.
Okay. So I will see Lysandra take this damage, and I will raise my staff in an overly dramatic fashion.
Oh.
And I will begin to monologue. Like, the battle may have left its marks, but I will mend what is broken. Your strength lies not only in your sword and shield, but in the courage to keep moving forward. Hold fast. Healing begins now. And I will cast Heal on Lysandra.
Oh, I like that.
You gain 40 hit points.
Good.
Does that...
That just brings you right back to full.
Hey.
So yeah, you are full up again. What does your healing look like?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say it's going to look like the lines from a music sheet just kind of spread from my staff towards her, and then small little music notes travel along them and then enter her in a little light fashion.
Ooh, I like that. So you hear these like notes as the notes. I'll add to that as the notes hit you, Lysandra. You hear the music as each note hits you. Plum, 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 plum. Like they're going up and down the scales.
I love that so much. That's so cool.
I like that a lot. That was dope. So that ends your turn. And then we get a sentinel that is just seems very excited to be there, and it is very much like in that like bouncing kind of movements, and it is going to. All right, it's coming after you, Malachi. But rather than do what its fellows have done and point a gun at you, it's just going to raise its fist and dash in your direction to try and knock you down with a hand strike.
Oh dear.
So this will be versus your defense. It'll be 14 versus your defense.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that destroys my defense. 100%.
Yep, that you will take 13 points of, I believe that's physical damage. Yeah, 14 points of physical damage as it just pummels into your chest with this large brass fist. Bang!
Do you quarrel, good sir?
And the I have to. Wow, I was not expecting that. The automaton kind of leans back, puts his fist up in kind of a boxing stance, and goes, "I do intend to quarrel, good sir."
I will hold my staff up in a defensive manner and say, "Draw if you be man."
And the bouncy sentinel is now focused completely on you. If you quarrel, I do quarrel as well. My fist you shall have upon you.
Oh, a worthy adversary.
And that will end their turn. I believe that leaves us with Blaidd.
Hi, hello, that's me. The first action Blaidd takes is Blaidd hops onto his hoverboard, which, by the way, is named Dreadstriker. But because of rapid interface, you can immediately take another action after mounting this hoverboard. And takes a second, and he thinks. And he looks in his pocket, and looks back up, and lights just kind of start flashing on the screen. As what he uses is he uses an alchemy gadget. And performs the inventory action.
Yes.
So I have to roll 2 d20s I'm going to apologize in advance to everyone else because this can go fucking terribly.
Oh boy.
How do I just roll d20s on here?
So you would want to at the bottom of bottom right, there is a dice tray.
I see. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
We're all like, Sphinx, how do we work this?
Okay, let's see what 2 and 19. Cool. Only one of those is kind of useful, so I rolled a 2 and a 19, and I get to choose one to put in the target and one to put in the effect.
Okay.
The target is going to be you or one ally you can see that is present in the scene. Who has lost how many hit points?
So
I have lost 10.
10.
I'm back up to full.
And
Full.
I have lost 14.
You're 14. So it's going to be at Malachi, and the effect, which I rolled 19, you recover, oh, no, that doesn't fucking help you. Never mind, I'm going to flip it. So, 19 means every enemy present on the scene, and 2 suffers 20 poison damage.
Oh boy.
Because one of the effects, 2 of the effects, can be present if, no matter what I roll.
Gotcha. And that's that. It's what does that look like when you do that? Is it like a bomb? Is it a?
I'm so glad you asked. So Blaidd smoothly hops onto this hoverboard, and I'd like to think that when he hops on, the first thing that happens is it takes off just a bit in the air, because he doesn't want to be anywhere near the punchy one over there, so it's above head range. And thinks about it for a second, reaches into his pocket, and there's clanging that can be heard around, fishing around, and then he pulls out this cobbled together amalgamation of parts that doesn't even look like it should still be stuck together. It's very colorful. Looks at it for a second, goes, looks at it for 2 seconds, and then goes,
I have no idea what this does.
just to everyone below before taking it and throwing it towards all of the automatons, and it explodes. You would think for poison damage it might be something like along like a green line, but no, this is a vibrant, brilliant purple color that explodes out into, and it essentially suddenly dyes the sides of these automatons wherever it ends up hitting.
I love it.
And that's what happens.
Cool. So when you do that, it explodes and casts this liquid all over them, and it has the effect for sure of dyeing these automatons now in splotches all over them, these bright purple. But you do notice that it does no actual damage to them, and
That makes sense.
You figure out that they are in fact immune to poison.
That makes sense. He looks down towards them. They're now very pretty, and he just goes,
You know, I probably should have thought about that.
and then just kind of stayed hovering in the air.
Now hold on, we now know for sure that it's not that. You got anything icy in there for the next time?
Somewhere, it's a matter of, do you want to grab it, or does it grab me?
I see.
Like that. That was delightful. You see Desi kind of sitting now near the stage. I guess that would be stage left, sitting on a pile of crates, going, "That's very resourceful of you. That's I would love to see that creativity. 100%. Love the way you just dyed them all purple." And Curator goes, "Huh? They actually do kind of look better that way, don't they?" And meanwhile, Duke and Callie are sitting in the audience, kind of watching and taking notes. But then we will move to. We see another automaton kind of step up, and this one flings its hand out to the side, and its hand, basically in a knife arm fashion, a long blade juts out of its wrist, and then part of it bends and forms the shape of a scythe, and it's going to run forward and hit. Okay, it's gonna go after Lysandra. Listen, the dice did that. It's not me. I don't have it out for you. It's the dice.
Your dice seem to have some feelings about me, then. I see. All right. What does this fucker try to do?
It is going to attempt an action called the Reaper's Reckoning, where it's going to slash at you. Oof. Does 14 hit your defense?
Yes.
Or 16, rather. That's a 16.
Yes.
Okay. That's going to strike at you. It's going to slash across your chest in a diagonal direction for 22 points of damage.
Jesus Christ, I just got that health back.
It's true. It is true.
So I have a question then.
Yeah.
So, what happens if we hit our crisis HP?
So, crisis generally, it's like being bloodied, and there are some traits and skills that go into effect if you have them in crisis mode. So, I know that for example, in the game that I run for Ayame, Ayame is my daughter, ladies and gentlemen. All right, listeners. Ayame took the quirk of having a curse, and so we basically created a custom curse for her. And when she goes into crisis mode, the curse becomes uncontrollable and does indiscriminate darkness damage to whoever's nearby. And so there are other skills that you can take or traits you can acquire that will trigger upon entering a crisis. It more often will happen with NPCs and villains that you'll fight. But if you choose a skill or a trait that does something with crisis, then you will be susceptible to that as well.
Gotcha. Okay, making sure.
Yeah. All right, that ends that Sentinel's turn. Then we will move on to the last Sentinel in the initiative. And it kind of inches forward a bit. "I do not truly wish to fight any of you, but I have orders, and I will fulfill them as best as I can. Sorry." And it will point its arm at Blaidd. And will fire. It will fire its gun blast.
Okay.
Does 9 hit your defense?
Damn it! No.
That and it will blast just past you, and not hit you at all.
Blaidd gets really excited for a second and he sees the gun pointed towards them, and then when it goes past, kind of...
And it's this like arc of electricity that just misses you.
He looks down towards the automaton and goes,
I know you don't want to fight, but you could have at least hit me.
And you see...
Did you want to get hit?
You haven't seen the cool shit I can do now.
Yeah, just wants to play.
Just a little fun.
Little tea time tussle.
And the automaton kind of like sags a little bit. I will try harder next time.
Much appreciated.
And that will end round 1. So, back at the top of the order, which one of our fine heroes will go first?
Me!
All right. What's Jodie doing?
All right, Jodie has assessed the situation. They have weak points in their joints. Jodie doesn't have ice, so she can't do anything about that. The machines, guns, primarily fight with lightning or something that shocks. They're immune to poison. And she has just kind of taken this information and analyzed it. And she knows there's not a lot that she can do, but she can at least hit where those weak points are. So what she's going to do is she's going to roll her shoulders and her wings flutter into existence behind her.
Ooh.
And she kneels down, and if you allow DM, because it's quirk, she's going to soar up and raise her book above her head, put it into a position where it's in front of her face, and then she's going to dive down and hit in one of those joints.
Okay. All right. Ooh, geez, how are we gonna do that? That's fun.
Might plus might.
Yeah.
It's the big old book of Jodie.
The book of Jodie. Yeah,
It's in the book of Jodie.
Let's go. Plus might. Let's go. Which one are you aiming at?
The one that hit me.
Which one hit you? I think it was the elated one that hit you. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the elated
Pleased.
one. The elated one hit went after Malachi. I believe it was the heavy metal one that hit you.
Aw, that's disappointing.
Let's see, 9 towards defense. Honestly, you actually hit it. You just hit it.
Oh! Alright, and then the HR-10. How do I roll that? Is
It rolled it for you.
Oh!
Oh wait, no, it didn't roll it for you.
No.
So high roll plus 10. So your high roll would be, so you rolled...
Okay, so I rolled the 5.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I mistook your die roll for the Clockwork Sentinel's die roll. I thought you rolled a 9, but you rolled a 6.
I rolled a 6. So I did not hit.
I think, hang on a second, because if you should be able to roll from your weapons.
Oh.
So I will allow you to re-roll that. So if you go into your items, you should be able to just click on Book of Jodie and have it roll from that.
Oh gosh.
There you go. There you
Today
go.
Is us learning how to use this. All right. So
yeah, you fall into it, and you hit it with an 11 to do 16 points of damage to that Clockwork Sentinel.
And she's just going to bash. And
Yeah.
it's just, And as she does so, she kind of does a loop in the air, and she lands back on the ground.
I like that. You hit it with a clang. It kind of rears back, and it looks at like the gash you've left now in its kind of shoulder towards the chest area. Looks at it. Eyes glow a little bit brighter. Target acquired.
Oh, allow me to assist you in your little shutdown.
Jodie coming in with like the elbow drop. I love that so much. All right, that's cool. All right, so that's Jodie. Next up, I guess we're gonna get a reaction from our heavy metal guy here right away. It is going to shift, and then you're going to see it's gonna put its fist in the air, and its fist is gonna glow a moment, not with kind of that same energy of the gun. Its energy is red as flames begin to leap from the fist. And it's gonna rush at you with a strike. Hi there, I'm Sphinx Akashaa, your champion of Bards, and you're listening to the Everbright Archive, a TTRPG actual play podcast anthology series. I really hope you're enjoying the show. Why don't we get back to it?
Is heavy metal the one that I'm currently fighting? Or no?
No, you're currently fighting the happy one, the elated one. I think it's the one.
Elated one. Okay,
called. Gotcha. Yeah. So it comes at you and tries to hit you. Does a 6 hit your defense? I don't think it does. No, 6 will miss you.
No. She just uses her book to deflect it.
Nice. And it sails past you, deflects. It will spin around and will kind of hover back towards its area. Well done. I will hit you and knock that book from your hand.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna hit you and knock some of your screws loose.
And you see the eyes kind of wink out and then back on as if it blinked. And then it will get into a more martial artist stance and will gesture in that, like, very much that bring it meme with its hand.
And she just rolls her shoulder again, like, let's go.
I love that. All right, who's going next?
It's gonna be me. Somebody used fire that wasn't me. Lysandра's attention has shifted slightly.
All right.
Smell of fire is in the air. And I think it's like as soon as that flame lit, it's that feeling of like that surge from the vicinity. It's just like, so, see? I am not the arsonist, but that one might be. And Lysandra's going to basically take their staff, spin it really quick, and ignite it. And while they do that, they're going to use entropic magic, but they are going to use the spell Umbra.
Okay.
Which is, I'm going to spend 30 mind points because it's 10 times targets. I can target up to 3.
Yep.
So I'm targeting 3 of these automatons. And a storm of dark energy turns matter into ash. Each target hit by the spell suffers high roll plus 15 dark damage.
Okay.
And on an opportunity, each target hit by the spell suffers weak. So what am I rolling for? It says insight plus willpower.
Insight plus willpower.
Cool. Check what my dice are for that. Insight, willpower. Cool. ancient power. Come on, ladies.
That's a magical attack. So that's
It is. It's going to be
11, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That will hit. That hits its magic defense.
Fantastic.
What's your high dice?
My high dice is a 7.
7 plus 15. Goodness gracious.
That's math.
That hits all of them, I believe. Yeah, I'm just gonna rule that's for that one roll is gonna be for all 3 of them. Yeah, that hits all 3 of. So which 3 are you going after? I can assume that one of them is the heavy metal one.
I'm going after whichever one. I'm going after the 2 that hit me.
Okay.
And then I'm also trying to damage the one that is bouncing around Malachi.
Okay, cool.
Because Blaidd seems like it really wants to get hit by something. So I'm just let those 2 duke it out, and Jodie seems fine.
Cool. So that is going to be 22 points of damage to all 3 of them.
And I'm going to convert it. Instead of dark damage, it's going to be fire damage because of my elemental soul.
Nice.
And the way that this looks is Lysandra is literally just takes smells fire in the air, and it's kind of that if you've ever seen Birds of Prey, and it's Harley Quinn fighting in the police station, and it's that heavy sniff. It's smelling that burning scent, and it's just kind of this is going to be fun. And then it's the spinning of the staff, and because Lysandra had it basically on their shoulders, behind their neck, they spin it around their neck, over their hands, ignite it, start the spell, and it's this dark wave of energy that's building around as they spin. And then it turns bright, burning. Kind of not... I don't want to say it's burning red or burning orange. It's just kind of this burning sensation coming from this dark energy that then it ignites it completely. It's that that look of you see the smoke before you see the flames.
I like that.
And then it just engulfs these 3 automatons in this fire.
Nice. So yeah, it does a considerable amount of damage to the commander and the elated one. The harvester, it also does damage to, but you can tell that it's doing less damage to it than it does. It looks a bit hardier than the other 2.
And they're going to, as soon as the flames start dying down, they're going to just kind of aim their staff between the 2 and say, all right, we're going to have a very good time, I think. Talking to the harvester.
And the harvester, something you notice about the harvester that you didn't notice that is not present for the other 2, it actually has jaws built into the head, and it will open its jaws, and you can see that they are jagged and pointed, and it affixes itself into this weird smile. And the harvester says, "Yes, we will in fact have a good time."
Lysandra just smiles with this big, fanged smile. And it's just bouncing happily. With the staff is still on fire completely. They are just vibing.
Nice. Awesome. Let's see, which one of them is going to go next? Okay, we're gonna get the shy one coming at you. And that one is going to... you know what? That one's going to go after Blaidd again, because it disappointed Blaidd before. And it will look at you, Blaidd, and will say, "I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try harder this time."
You got this. Just look at me. Hit me. You're good.
And before it makes a move to attack, it will pull both hands up into a thumbs up, semi-confident, and then it's going to leap at you and try like an overhand like hammer strike, aiming like at your knees and the board. And let's see, where are you? Cool. Hand strike. That is a crit for me. A crit for me. Now, what's cool about critical successes, it definitely means that they auto hits no matter what. You'll take 12 points of damage there, but it also means I get to choose from a number of things I can do later. And let me pull that up really quick because I've forgotten. I have yet to do that for myself in combat. So it is going to, let's see, opportunities. There we go. You know what? That's cool. It's gonna do this. It's going to look at you, and it's going to straighten up a bit, Blaidd, and it's going to say,
Look, I did it. I did it. I did good.
And it's going to form a bond with you.
Okay, my heart had to take a second there. But my heart had to take a second. Blaidd looks at this automaton that just smashed his knees, essentially. But if a robot's face could have pride on it, Blaidd's face is like lighting up all different colors. And he looks at him and goes,
You did good. I'm going to do good in return.
And Blaidd has an ability called Counter-Strike. After a creature or the personal vehicle is hit by an attack, if you are driving this vehicle, you may spend 1 inventory point. If you do, the attacker suffers 10 physical damage.
Cool. What does that look like? What does your Counter-Strike look like when you activate it?
So for Blaidd has a wonderful weapon module on the back of it, and as Blaidd is going, yes, you have done good, this weapon module snakes up and around, and it kind of looks like the tail of a scorpion. And right after Blaidd is like, I'm going to do good in return, the hoverboard twists and brings Blaidd down right next to this automaton, and that scorpion's tail just runs right through.
Nice. Yeah, you get it right through the torso, and
It is painful, but I am too happy to have made a friend to feel any pain.
That's about how my knees feel too.
Says, like Blaidd says, going past and kind of not quite stopping, letting the momentum carry him on.
Nice. I love that. So that's kind of your reaction. Would you like to take your turn?
Sure, I can do that. And Blaidd. Oh, I have options. Oh no.
Oh no, options.
Blaidd is gonna go big or go home. Just curious in and of life itself. And just gonna reach into their pocket again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll. It's could go so poorly.
That is double 14s.
Cool, I have one option. I really hope that's a good option.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, okay. Let's hope this goes well. It did not.
Oh no.
It did not go well.
Oh no. What happened?
So, Blaidd takes a moment after pulling this thing. And again, it's a weird amalgamation, but this one looks wrong, even for an amalgamation. And Blaidd looks down and goes,
Oh. Oh no. Sorry.
and before, Blaidd can finish that sorry, the target is you and every ally present on the scene, and the effect is suffers dazed, shaken, slow, and weak.
Oh my gosh. All of them?
All of them. That is an and.
Would you hit us with a flash grenade? Flashbang? Like, what the hell?
Okay. That affects everyone's dice. I think all of everyone's dice.
Sorry.
Would
Oh
you,
my god.
for me and the audience, be able to explain what each of those status effects do?
So slow reduces your dexterity dice size by 1. Daze reduces your insight by 1. Weak reduces might by 1. And shaken reduces willpower by 1.
I just nerfed you all.
It makes all of your dice one size smaller.
Hold up.
Uh-oh.
So, Lysandra has the most magic of all of us, right? Kind of. Who has the ice magic? I feel like we would know this about each other.
I have
Does
fire.
anybody have icy magic?
I only have
lightning.
fire.
If I can pull out the right thing.
I'm sorry, all my cats causing chaos. So what Jodie's gonna do, because y'all have elected her leader this round, is she is going to use her protect skill. And she is going to take the damage for herself. I mean, the effect for herself. And since Lysandra is able to hit multiple of them, she's going to take the effect for Lysandra.
Oh.
So Jodie will take, instead of 1, she'll take 2.
Okay.
So she's going to swing around, ignore the one that's going wah wah. Sorry, big guy. Got a job to do. And she turns so that she can take this surge that she feels coming and blocks Lysandra from the wave.
Okay. So, all right.
So whenever I roll my might and whatnot, I do it by 2 instead of 1.
Gotcha. Well, it can't go any lower than a D6, so you're good there. So, Lysandra, you have been saved from this effect. Everyone else, unfortunately, you are affected by Blaidd's very weird bomb. All right, that was unexpected. Cool. All right, so that was Blaidd's turn. Let's see. We're gonna go out with the Harvester next. Our big guy. And he's going to... What does that do? Oh my gosh. Oh, cool. I like this. So he is going to move forward, and he's going to look at all of you and say, I have quite the surprise for you. See if you can stop me. And you see him reach to his chest, and he pulls it open. And you see what looks like a large round crystal in the center of his chest that begins to charge, in making this very, very obvious and it begins to crackle with this very deep purple energy. And that will be its turn, which brings us to Malachi.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
When a spell says I can target up to 3 creatures, could I target one creature multiple times?
I would allow that.
Okay. So, I'm looking at I'm in locked eye contact with this elated robot in front of me until I hear the announcement from off to the side from this extremely large robot, and I see him open up his chest and start charging me like, oh, that requires attention. If you'll give me 1 second, my fellow. And he's going to hold his staff out towards the other guy, and a large light begins to emit from the end of the staff. And he says, let the light of the arcane banish the shadows and guide our path forward. With this spell, darkness has no hold over us. And fires a large beam of light directly towards the harvester.
Okay. All right.
Would I have to roll my attack 3 times? Or one for all 3?
Since you are attacking, since you're using all 3 of your attacks on the one creature, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll have you roll all 3.
That is fair. Let's see, what am I rolling here? Goodness. Insight and willpower.
We would count that as a multi-attack.
Oh, my willpower's been decreased.
That it has.
Okay, so the first one is an 8 against magic defense.
8 just hits.
Okay. Second one. Also an 8 against magic defense.
Okay. That hits.
And one more. I need to go to Vegas. 3 8s.
Straight up 3 8s. That's lovely. Yeah, you hit all 3 times.
Okay,
These
so
beams of light blasting from your staff. And are you aiming for a particular spot?
I don't know if I would be able to hit it, but I'm definitely going to aim for the large thing in the middle of his chest beginning to charge up.
Okay. I'd say, given all 3 of your 8s there, I'm just gonna because one, I've never seen that, and it's just kind of ridiculous. You for sure, all 3 times, hit him in his chest, and you notice something as you hit him with your beams of light.
Oh no, it's gonna absorb it.
You notice, no, quite the opposite. It does more damage than you expected it to do.
Ooh.
And it will stagger back. The light in its chest dies. And it looks down at it and then up at you.
How dare you? New target
dare.
has been acquired.
Oh no.
And it will
I take it
turn
back, I'm
its
sorry.
entire body in your direction.
He's just gonna like look at it like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It just reminds me of what was it? Civil War, where Tony Stark's in the Hulkbuster and punching the Hulk repeatedly knocks out the tubes and goes, "I'm sorry."
Oh yes, I love this. That was actually that was the Age of Ultron.
Was that Age of Ultron?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Yes. Oh god, such a good fight. But that was a total of 62 light damage.
It sure was.
And the target suffers dazed.
Oh, it suffers
already.
Dazed. Oh, that's great.
I'm not sure if robots can be dazed, but
it can. It's not immune to it. That's lovely. Yeah, it does. It does. This harvester does have special rules, and if you discover them one way or another, I'll let you know what they are. But that's dazed. Being immune to dazed is not one of them. So huzzah! Holy shit, that was great. That was great. All right, I guess that will end your turn. What did I do there? Oh, I did that, and then I did that. Huzzah! All right, so the elated Clockwork Sentinel will look back at you, and will go. Just because you aimed at someone else does not mean that our fight is finished. And it's going to come at you with a fist.
that's fair.
Fine. There we go. Bang. Does 10 hit your defense?
Yes.
All right. You will take 13 points of damage as it once again hits you in the chest with a fist as it zooms forward.
Guys, I'm not doing too hot.
And as you can see out of the corner of your eye, well, everyone else can. You two are preoccupied with being hit, but everyone else can see that the moment that automaton hits Malachi, Desi kind of winces a bit. And that is its turn. And then we have the commander will take its turn. And will aim at Jodie with its arc gun. And will fire a beam. It will miss you with a 3 versus your defense. It rolled super bad.
And she does just kind of a flutter with her wings to just kind of glide out of the way.
Nice, I like that. The arc, you glide out of the way, and the arc just kind of sails over a shoulder. It's like, oh. And the commander kind of rears that gun hand back, and it's like.
Can I spend a fabula point for Jodie?
You can actually. What do you want to do, and what are you invoking?
So, what I am invoking is that was pitiful. And this has suffered a lot. Maybe it's time to put it out of misery. I want it to hit itself, but I want it to be by Jodie's hand. That is done.
Okay. So you're rolling essentially to give Jodie a free attack.
By this own creature's attack, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, ooh, I like this. You know what? I'm going to spend an Ultima point to help you with that because I like that a lot. I'm going to spend one of its Ultima points. And there we go. That's done there. And so you, Jodie, you glide out of the way, but something almost like primal and instinctual forces your shield arm to move up into the direction of that arc. And you hit that arc, or that arc hits your shield just so that it bounces off and back into the direction of the clockwork commander, and it will hit it at full damage because it was not prepared for that. So it will take all 7 points of lightning damage. And it is now in crisis.
Oh. Good job, team. Little winded.
Are we back at the top again?
We are back at the top.
Cool. I would like to go because I have a plan for this. Question
Lovely.
first. Malachi, do you have enough mind points left to heal yourself?
Yes, I do.
Cool. Be prepared to be on deck. So, Lysandra, seeing Jodie basically deflect this hit, is like, okay, well, you're near me now. Is going to smack that automaton with their weapon. I forget what we named it. It's a staff, technically, correct?
Technically, it's a staff, yes.
Cool. So I'm rolling double willpower. So I roll 2d10s for that because my thing wasn't affected by it. Because Jodie took the brunt of it for me. So that is going to be a 13 to hit. 13 total.
13 will hit.
Cool. So that's going to be my high roll, which is 8 plus 6. So 14 physical damage.
14 points of physical damage. That will.
Well, did I hit this one with my spell last time?
Oh boy, I don't remember.
I hit the elated one, the harvest. No, I hit the commander. It was the elated one, the harvester, and the commander. So I didn't hit this one last time.
No, the commander. You did hit the commander because the commander was the one that just went after Jodie.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to convert it into fire damage because it seemed like it was actually affected by that. So It's going to be the same thing of the way that this looks as well as just basically that back-to-back motion.
Yeah.
Of a, excuse me, I need to do a little smacky smack. And then basically spins and smacks this thing right in the dome with just a burst of flame from it making contact.
Yeah, there is a clang and almost like an explosion of flame that goes up at its head. Sparks are flying. It does a considerable amount of damage. It does not look great. You leave a nice dent in its dome. And it looks like it's begun to melt down into its eye, into one of its eye lights. And it kind of starts to kind of thrash around a bit. What have you done? What have you done?
You wait your turn. I'm still doing something. I'm going to use a dance this time. I can use a dance before or after my action, and it is not an action. So the dance I'm going to use is the Ouroboros dance, which, if I spend 10 mind points, I can choose one ally that I can see who has yet to take their turn this round, and that ally may take their turn immediately after mine. And it is going to be... Malachi, can you do the music thing again for yourself? You don't look too good, my friend. And the way that this looks is... the flames, whenever it basically impacted, mimic that sound and crackling of the music note.
I love that. Cool. So, yeah, Malachi, you are immediately up.
Thank you. Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. That really hurt. But I'm feeling better now. I appreciate that. Nothing like a little music to get you back on your feet.
So you heal yourself for 40, which puts you back up at full.
It does.
Nice. So yeah, the flames kind of die out and are immediately followed by Malachi's da 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 as the notes fly from your staff and surround you and hit you in all of the places that you were hit, which is mostly your chest. And the rest of you, you all see Desi visibly take a breath of relief. Which then puts us at... Let's see, which one of them am I going to make it come after you this time?
I imagine Malachi's healing smells a little bit toasty.
Yeah, I could be down with that. Okay, the elated one is up. And it kind of hops about, smashes its fists together, and kind of feints as if it's about to come after you with a straight up punch attack, but instead runs up to you like it's going to punch you, stops just in front of your its fist stops just in front of your abdomen, and it's going to try and shoot you.
Ooh.
That's going to be a 13 versus your defense.
Who is he going for, though?
He's going for Malachi. Sorry.
Oh.
Then yes, that 100% hits.
You will take 13 points of immediate lightning damage as it straight to your abdomen.
What a shocking development.
And you hear the automaton go, the record is not over yet. The record is not over yet.
The record is not over yet.
That was
mean?
That was a Fuji's reference.
Oh, okay.
That was a Fuji's reference.
That went over my head.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for being old, actually. No, I'm not sorry. It's not my fault. I didn't do this to me. Which one of you? So we've still got Bryn. We got Jodie and Blaidd. Which one of you are going to go next after that?
Jodie will go.
All right.
Blaidd, you're doing good. You're doing great. You got your kneecaps and you got your sass and you're doing great, buddy.
Sorry.
I said leave the apologies to me. Alright? Because we'll only be sorry if we lose. Look at us. Even a little down, and she pumps her shoulders up. Rolls her shoulder to get her book back in front of her. We're still doing some mighty fine damage. And she's going to go for another, raising herself up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to fly back down and smack in that same area that she did before.
Which one did you hit that time? Do you remember? Was it the heavy metal one?
I believe it was the heavy metal one.
Okay.
Or is there one that looks like it's on its last legs?
Oh, the commander looks terrible.
We're going for the commander. Especially since their name's Commander.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going with this big old book, and I'm going to subtract 2 from whatever I do. Oh, that's not going to hit. 5.
Yeah, 5 will absolutely miss.
She's just so tired that she starts to swoop and she kind of spins out in the air and just kind of wipes herself out. I think it's all up to you, buddy.
And the commander kind of looks at you as you go back down. Nice. Try.
Oh man, are you not looking good? Are you not? Hold up, sorry, I'm going somewhere with this, but I lost my thing.
And it looks like that side of its face is like almost fully melted into its like where that eye was. Like Lysandra's hit has done some work.
And was this the one that was doing like the scary thing where he was like, "Try to stop me now"?
No.
Okay.
No, that was the harvester.
All right.
The scythe for a hand.
Well then, she's going to stand up. I got better things to deal with than you now. My buddy up there's gonna get you, but you, and she's gonna point to the harvester.
Me.
Yeah, you. I'm sorry to say, you don't impress me much. And she's going to use provoke. She's going to spend 5 mind points to use provoke mind points. So that anything this guy attacks, if I roll right, would be attacking her.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It did not roll. How come it didn't roll?
That is a great question.
It's just telling me what it does.
Okay, go ahead and you'll have to do it. Like roll an open check for that. Then.
Okay. All right. So
might versus willpower.
Might plus willpower.
Might plus willpower. Yeah.
1. I'm just rolling terribly.
Oh.
And then that would be -2 for that, so that would be again a 6.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, that does nothing for him.
She just looks too pathetic.
Question. Would what Jodie just did count as a check?
It would. It is in fact a check. Oh wait, no! I have to do an opposed check. Oh. So it's not necessarily terrible yet. Hang on. There's still a chance. So I also have to do might plus willpower. All right. Let's see what happens. Okay.
No, that's high.
Yeah, that's a 12. So yeah, it's still a check. So
I'm going to look over at Jodie. I'm going to say very loud, like, once again, with feeling! And I'm going to use my ability, My Trust in You. After another player who's able to hear you performs a check, I can spend a fabula point and invoke one of their traits in order to let them re-roll the dice or improve the result of their check.
Let's try it. Let's go.
Amazing.
Might. Willpower. 1. Let's go. That's still terrible.
Oh, man.
Thing. It's the same roll.
It's the same roll.
It's the same roll.
What's messed up about that is that it was a double, but it was below a 4 or it was below a 6. So it doesn't count.
Jodie's just looking so pathetic from taking 2 hits. Like she's just got the spirit in her, and she's.
and the harvester.
She sticks her tongue out.
The harvester looks at you and like kind of does a the spirit is strong, but your willpower seems to be weak.
I'll show you weight next turn, you sack of bolts.
I love it here. Let's see. I believe that brings us to our heavy metal guy. And who is he gonna go after? Who is our heavy metal guy gonna hit? Malachi, I'm sorry. The dice seem to have it out for you today.
Oh, no.
I'm in danger.
You might be in danger.
You might be in danger.
He's gonna go ahead and try and punch you with a hand strike. Does 10 hit your defense? Right.
It absolutely does. I have no defense.
You take 11 points of damage.
Okay. I know we said some things. But I think if we talk this out, we can really turn out to be friends.
And it kind of looms over you. The time for friendship is past. You are, for now, an enemy. And that will end its turn. I think Blaidd has a turn before we go back to the top of the round.
Yeah, I do. And Blaidd turns to the heavy metal one and then turns back to the shy one and goes,
I will be right back. I do not abandon my friends.
And the shy one goes, yay!
And Blaidd maneuvers that hoverboard to go up and then dart back down right behind the heavy metal one, and is going to use that scythe that's on the back of it, which... Let me... I hope this rolls the correct thing. I'm not sure if it will.
Let's see. Yep, scythe module.
It did. Cool.
Unfortunately,
that's a
yes,
9.
it will hit. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
The scythe is fucking crazy with damage. And as it hits, so what happens is Blaidd speeds up behind this thing, and the scythe always comes over that shoulder. And it strikes right in the back of this automaton. And Blaidd goes,
It's always time for friendship.
I'll say that as you come down with that blade, everyone sees just sparks flying from behind this thing as you cleave down this thing's back. You do 23 points of damage, and it is not looking great. It starts kind of sputtering and kind of jerking as it too now has entered crisis mode.
The last thing that Blaidd does is Blaidd looks at it and goes,
Ew.
and then goes back up on the hoverboard to get that air again.
Delightful. I love this. I love this so much. Cool. So that ends Blaidd's turn, and that will bring us to... will bring us to the Shy One. And as the Shy One looks at you, it will... I don't want to hit you, so I am not going to. And it's going to dash in Jodie's direction. And it's going to try and punch Jodie, aiming for the chest. I don't think it hits with a 5 to your defense.
She kind of does the same thing, like, oh, buddy, you gotta be quicker than that. And she moves her shield in front of her. And
it hits with not as loud of a clang as you would expect it to. You can kind of tell, based on that it was kind of a half-hearted attempt. It didn't really have... its heart isn't in this fight at all.
Oh, baby.
And Desdemona kind of sees that and is like, all right. Number four, you're out. You come on back. And the automaton kind of stands up straight for a moment. It takes a bow at all of you. And then it goes, yay!
Jodie offers her hand to shake.
And
like, good game.
The automaton takes your hand and shakes it vigorously. I wish I could say that this was fun, but I didn't want to be here, so I'm gonna go now. And
all right.
And it kind of hobbles over to where Desi is sitting and sits on the floor, crisscross applesauce next to her. And Desi just kind of looks at it, looks at Carrera. Carrera just kind of shrugs, like, I don't know what to tell you. Desi just kind of laughs into her hand and shakes her head. And that will end its turn. And then I think that's all of them, actually. So we will go on to the next round. And as we go on to the next round, Desi will, kick up from her boxes. Will crack her knuckles and go, okay, all right. We've had enough of this. You're doing fairly well against these automatons. But I think it's time I entered this fight. And it points at the remaining sentinels. And it will turn to Carrera. Will you remove these, please? And Carrera will go, yeah, sure. We'll click a few buttons on their keyboard, and all but the Shy One and the Harvester will start to shake a bit, and then will compress themselves into large metal cubes. Very much that. And then Desi will walk forward and will start rolling her shoulders, the kind of very similar to the way Jodie did, and will then, as one of the sentinels converts itself into a box, she sweeps her leg out and smashes it into the box, and the box goes flying. And she goes, right, I think you've proven yourselves fairly well against Carrera's, no offense, Carrera, more simple automatons, but me and the Harvester are going to tag team for this one. And she smashes her fists together, and there is a rumble as the entire theater begins to shake, and you all feel it in the depths of your bones as this like this shock wave kind of emanates from her. Now we get to the meat of the fight, and she goes into what very much looks like, for those of you, you're all from Earth, you've probably seen at least a kung fu movie or two, very much like a northern Shaolin fighting stance. And as she does that, the camera's gonna pull away. And as we pull away not this time to the 12th floor. This time we're going to go to the 7th floor. The floor known as the Corona. An entire world, an entire globe, as it were, relegated to one map. And we will pull out and we will see kind of the overview of this floor. And to just a little bit to the northeast, very, very far north, we'll go into the continent known as Quartet. And we'll go to the western half of Quartet, to a nation called Ishi. And it is very much what Earth would call a more Asiatic aesthetic. Tall Japanese-style pagodas, very like Sri Lankan and like Tibetan stupas, rising as far as the eye can see. But there are also many military barracks here. And a very, 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 very large stone castle that looks very reminiscent of Tokugawa Castle in Japan. And marching now from that castle, slowly being joined by, as it walks down this row of barracks, contingents upon contingents of soldiers begin to fall in line behind this figure in a red cloak and a demon mask. And that is where we're going to end our session tonight.
An army! They's a-coming.
They are a-coming. So, we are going to stop here, and we're going to have part 2 of this fight next session, where you will continue your battle with the Harvester, joined by Desi Arnak, who you've seen kind of a measure of her ability just now, but there's definitely more to come. Thank you all, listeners, for hanging out with us for our very first combat of the campaign. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We certainly are enjoying it, and we'll see next session how this all ends up. Once again, please click into the links in our description to check out all of these amazing and wonderful people at the table, as well as join our Discord. Come hang out with us, come talk story, and just kind of nerd out with us about stuff. And if you can, join our Ko-fi and subscribe for the rest of the month of January, which by this point, by the time you're listening to this, it might not be January anymore. Who knows? Or rather, I'll say this. for everything that we release on the Ko-fi throughout the month of January, everything will be everything that we would normally save for our subscribers will be free for everyone. So come and check it out. It's a good time. But yeah, until then, please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, keep walking the storied path, and as always, may the dice roll ever in your favor. We'll catch you next time. You have been listening to the Everbright Archive, a TTRPG actual play anthology series. This episode is from the campaign The Last Story. Your cast has been Madness Diamond as Lysandra Agni, Selkie Cove as Blaidd Laoghaire, Bardic Sweet Tea as Malachi Davis, Brynniursa as Jodie Bank, and Sphinx Akashaa as the Storyteller. For more information about our wonderful cast, access to the show's Discord server, or if you'd like to support our show via Ko-fi, please follow the beacons link in the show's description. We hope you continue to follow us as we continue to walk the storied path. May the dice roll ever in your favor.